It's supposed to be an inspiring week in the Torah. This is the moment when you read Bishalach, it's a culmination of the book of Exodus, when the Israelites, led by Moshe, finally walked to freedom, liberated at last from the crushing darkness and the pain that they suffered in Egypt. And this is only possible, of course, only possible for a number of reasons, but among them that Moses is even there to begin with. The fact that Moshe is there at all, he's been saved by a series of brave women, possibly the midwives who defied Pharaoh's orders, by his mother Yocheved, who hides him, his sister Miriam, who follows the basket down the Nile, and of course by Bat Paro, Pharaoh's daughter, who draws him out of the water, gives Moshe his name, and raised him as her son. And it's that kindness that makes redemption possible. When you're kind to people other than yourself. That's the kindness that frees the oppressed. It's the kindness that's the foundation of our foundational story. Pharaoh's daughter defies authority. Pharaoh's daughter does what's right. Pharaoh's daughter doesn't see the despised Hebrews, but she sees human beings. And born into privilege, she risks her privilege and her security, and she does the right thing. It's the story of Pharaoh's daughter that has helped inspire generations of our people. And this week, I had the sad privilege duty of burying Mrs. Claire Gottlieb. She was a caring and smart woman. And she'd sit in my classes and not let on that she had a PhD in Hebrew and biblical studies. Until she handed me a paper one day. I can't remember if she wrote it or edited it, translated it maybe, saying that everything I just said, not quite so. Said that the word that we translate under linguistic scrutiny, which is her specialty, the phrase commonly translated as Pharaoh's daughter, Bat Paro, probably doesn't mean that. Bat, or as I said, might have the sense of household, meaning a servant in the palace of Pharaoh is the protagonist here. And sure, this now anonymous servant does the right thing, but if it's not Pharaoh's daughter, but a servant of Pharaoh, it's a different story. A slave defying a Pharaoh is sort of what you'd expect, who wants to obey their sadistic master. Secretly defying orders is what we expect of the enslaved. That's what one would do. For all we know, the servants in Pharaoh's palace were themselves Hebrews. Of course they'd save a Hebrew baby. It's not as inspiring a story anymore. So I have Claire to thank for that insight of destroying a great sermon for me. But what she also shows, actually, and I was going to dedicate this talk to Claire, that you can do both at once. You can have an inspiring story and understand that the stories of our people are sacred and should be held close, and understand that there's a history to them, and there's no danger in exploring the history and holding that close. Some people take modern scholarship and discard our sacred traditions because they think that scholarship asks them to do it. Some hold fast to our sacred traditions and ignore scholarship because it will threaten their belief or some such. It contradicts earlier understandings. We actually can do both. It's actually the heart of conservative Judaism that we can do both. And there are people like Claire who demonstrate this, and I get to learn from them. We should remember, like the daughter of Pharaoh, it's always the right time to do the right thing. And like the study of Bat Paro, whatever that term might mean, it's important to keep learning and to pursue the truth. Shabbat Shalom.